What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex, and you're watching a Ragin Ronin review. Got a review for you. I checked out 1917. It's a World War I drama from director Sam Mendes. Sam Mendes directed Skyfall, and when I first saw the trailer for this film, I was actually pretty interested in it. I saw it, and I was like, okay, cool, it's a World War I film. I want to check it out. And then later on, I found out that director of photography Roger Deakins was involved. He was involved with films like True Grit, as well as Sicario, Skyfall, of course, and a very beautifully shot film, Blade Runner 2049, which was amazing in IMAX. Like, what a beautiful film. I went on to watch it again in IMAX just because I wanted to just absorb that beautiful cinematography. And then he's involved in this film, 1917. Then later on, I found out that he wanted to do the ambitious thing of making this film told in real time. And what that means is that the film is going to be shot entirely in one shot, or at least it's going to appear in one shot. And that's what we ended up getting. Now, I'm watching the movie because I wanted to see this as a cinematic experience more than the actual story of the film. Now, as for the story, it's really simple. Just send a message, go through no man's land and go through like enemy lines, and then deliver a message. And that's pretty much the movie. So it's told in real time. It's a 2-hour film, and that's the journey of these two soldiers just trying to get from point A to point B to deliver a message. But that was secondary to me. When I was watching this film, like, it was really intense. Like, it was really, really intense. But something was I had a funny feeling about this film in the sense that I was more responsive to the technical elements of the film as opposed to the story elements. Like, the visual aspects of the film captured me more as opposed to the emotional and character side of it, which is a good and bad thing, because in a way, all I'm thinking about as I was watching the movie is like, how did they do that shot? Like, this is amazing. Like, this is like a ride. Like, it's a very immersive experience. And this is a very, very unique film review for me, because I'm more talking about the technical aspect of the film than the film itself as a whole. Because as a piece of entertainment, it's definitely very entertaining. As a story, as a character piece, like acting and all that, like, I don't really have much to say except that, well, I guess it delivered. It's not very complicated or anything, but what they did on the technical aspect of the film is very, very impressive. Very, very amazing. It's a movie that's meant to see on the big screen, but I feel like once you watch it on the big screen, you can't really experience the same thing you got again, because it's telling the story as you go along. And one of the things that makes it so fun is that it feels like a ride. It's like an adventure. You're seeing the adventure of these two guys that are trying to get from point A to point B and see what encounters they go through. And you're kind of just anticipating what happens next and what happens next. And then for me, as a film buff, I'm like thinking about how they're going to get this shot. How did they do that? Like, did they use a crane? Did they like carry it? Did they suddenly mount it on a vehicle? Like, how the hell did they do that? And that was kind of great, but also distracting for me from a story standpoint. So, I'm kind of mixed on it, but at the same time, I recognize that this is a really good piece of work. Like, it's a piece of art even. So, like, there's a lot of films that have been that has done the one take thing or long master takes, but never like this. This is kind of like the first time they've ever done a movie like this, unless there are other films that I don't know about. But they do really good editing, and they find ways to really cut it right, and you have to kind of keep an eye out for those. But like, there are as I was watching the movie, I was actually waiting for those cuts. I was thinking, like, how are they gonna do this? Like, this is really, really amazing, but it's like obviously done through object passes. I hope that doesn't take away from your experience from it. But as an experience, it's a really, really exciting thing. Like, it's really true immersive storytelling from a visual standpoint. But I don't even know if it's even a real story. I don't know if what we're watching is fiction. Or non-fiction, rather. Like, did this really take place? I don't know. I just know that I feel like, as I was watching this film, I felt like Sam Mendes and Roger Deakins talked to each other and said, like, hey, I have this idea. I want to make this film, I want to make a film told in a one take. What kind of film could we make? Let's do a World War I film where they have to deliver a message. Okay, let's do it. So, you see what I'm saying? It's like they came up with the the visual aspects first before they even came up with the story. That's how it feels to me, as opposed to them coming up with the script and then saying, how are we going to shoot it so that it feels immersive? So, I don't know. I'm still going to give this a high score, 8.5 out of 10, because they really did make a great movie and a great experience. It's just a very different experience and a very exciting one, and a very exciting, adventurous, surprising film, and it really keeps you on the edge of your seat. There's some really intense moments, but for the sake of it being a one-take movie, you really do feel like there are some cinematic conveniences. Things are just so convenient. After he's done encountering this obstacle, then he encounters a new obstacle, then a new obstacle, then a new obstacle, and it feels so convenient. You know what I'm saying? But that's how they can keep the audience engaged, right? Because it all is done in real time in one take. So they kind of have to do that just to keep the audience on their toes. Anyways, I'm going to give it 8.5 out of 10. Still a really great film. And I'm very curious to see what kind of awards it wins. As always, if you enjoyed watching this review and you want to see more, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter, Ragin Nation. My name is Alex. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Peace.